Well, it's kind of the start of the Golden Tate era for the Seahawks wide receivers. All right, maybe I'm going a little too far, but we know Sidney Rice is gone. Game coming up against Tampa. If Darrelle Revis is getting back to his old shutdown ways, it's going to be on Golden Tate. Everyone saw the Monday night thing. I'm not talking about the taunting. I'm talking about the fact that Golden Tate had 2 touchdown catches in that game, including an 80-yarder. Even with his contract coming up, Bob, which is something worth bringing up too, he's in the spotlight right now where he wants to be, but they need him to be productive in that spotlight.
Well, yeah, because they don't really have a go-to guy, so to speak, on that offense in terms of the passing game. They've got Doug Baldwin, who we all love, but is a slot guy. They've got, Curse is a guy who is expected to step up and get a little more attention there, and then they bring up, Ricardo Lockett from the practice squad. So the obvious option is Golden Tate. He doesn't have the size of a number 1 receiver, but he's got that big play instinct. He's a guy that seems to make things happen, and he's great run after the catch. Rarely is the play over when the ball lands in his hands, right? I mean, he's just a guy that has a knack. Big plays in that game when they desperately needed him, and you figure he's going to be the one that opposing cornerbacks are going to focus on most. Like, all right, let's take him away because he's easily the most explosive of the bunch that they have, and it's going to be up to him to still find a way to get it done without Sidney Rice there.
I think you take it even a step further. Even with Sidney Rice there, and we've talked about it, he wasn't terribly productive. Certainly not this year. Only 15 or 16 catches, and part of that we talked about receivers not seeing it separate a whole lot, and maybe not a whole lot of faith for Russell Wilson in throwing to guys when it's not the ideal circumstance. However, I think with Golden Tate, it's been a little bit different. I'd say of all of Russell's receivers, he may feel the most comfortable throwing to Tate when he's covered, which is, in a sense, good then if he's going to be in this role where he is likely to maybe even see double coverage sometimes.
Yeah, he's definitely comfortable with him, and the numbers bear that out with the number of attempts going to Golden Tate. The thing that Sidney brought, if it wasn't catches, which was 15 for the season, not big, but he's also a guy that drew the attention of the defense. He's a guy that, the responsibility of one of the better cornerbacks was with him. So now that shifts to Golden Tate. Perhaps we see Doug Baldwin become more of a factor based on that. They're going to slide that coverage down, and he's going to be a guy that perhaps steps up. And maybe we do see Curse have more of an impact. But ultimately, Golden Tate would be option number 1 for the cornerbacks there. And we'll see. This is, as you brought up, contract year for him. We'll see if he makes it pay off for it.
Maybe less posing going down the field. Just a little.